All right, let's go on this tour of Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's newest ship for now. We're going to take you floor by floor. When you go to the elevators, you'll see a big diagram like this showing you what is on each floor, but we're going to break it down for you by floors. We're going to start here on deck 3, so you can see if you look at that screen, which again is by all the elevator banks, what is going to be on each floor. So we're going to show you this each time we go up one deck, just to give you an idea, because there is so much to see. At the very top, you'll be able to see more of a visual diagram than the written diagram of what's on there. So I'll briefly show you these ones as well for each floor. But let's start on deck 3. And we're going to go all the way up to the top. Here's the dining room. This stretches across deck 3, 4, and 5. Just give you a quick example of what was on for breakfast this morning, because as always we get up really early and do these so we can have as clear a ship as possible. So we did this like about 6:15 in the morning, and I hope it pays off, because you'll notice as we go around the ship it is pretty much empty the whole time, even though there were 7,000 passengers on board this ship. They are not early risers on Royal Caribbean from what I saw. Anyway, so there you can see it goes up deck 3, deck 4, and deck 5. So when you get on board, check if there's a specific one of these you are supposed to go to. We got the ultimate dining package, so we actually did not eat in there at all. So I can't really do a report back on the food in the main dining room because we didn't go. Anyway, I will be doing a separate video very soon on all the restaurants and bars, and we ate in pretty much all the restaurants, so hopefully that will be useful. So that is there on deck 3. The other thing that they have coming up here will be the conference room, which is at the back here. But that is pretty much it for the front of deck 3. At the back, they have an area called the music hall where the band and play and they do certain other events. And when I've gone across deck 4, we'll pop down to deck 3 and we'll show you that. But that's pretty much all there is aft of deck 3. Most of the stuff you'll want to see is on 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8 actually. So there's a lot to see. But I want to show you the elevators there real quick. All you do is you hit the button, it tells you what elevator to go to, and in you go. Now I'm not using it, but that would be there. And a pretty cool thing, a little note, I don't know if they do this on all Royal ships, but it tells you at the bottom here what day it is. It is Thursday. This is when we did the tour. So yeah, so the elevators are really easy to do. Like I said, you just select your floor. It tells you what elevator to go to. You don't have to put numbers of how many people or anything. So now we're going up to deck 4. And as you can see here, we have the dining room again, music hall and casino midship, and the Royal Theatre up front. And there's that little diagram I told you about before. So we're now at the top, coming out on deck 4. And on the right there is the dining room again. We're not going to go in there again, just no need. This video's long enough already. If you stay to the end of this, I'll have my question at the end. We'll see who really watches this for an hour and about 10 minutes. That's how long this takes. It's a big ship. But as you'll see as we enter the casino, it's a very well designed ship, I believe. There's only a couple of items I would change if I could. Overall, it's a very well designed ship. And the casino is very big. First couple of days, we didn't really notice a lot of people playing, but as the week went by, a lot more people were playing. I did notice the comedians on the ship were in here playing poker one night, and I don't believe on Carnival they're allowed to. They have extra tables. They have like a baccarat table in here that I've never seen on a cruise ship before. So a lot of games that I don't normally see. But as you can see here, it's a very large casino. Side to side, a lot of tables. The main desk was on the left-hand side. We just kind of missed that on this video, but it's over there. If you look at the bar, you'll see they actually have poker machines at the bar as well, kind of like they do in Vegas. And again, I'll be doing a separate video shortly on all the bars and the restaurants on board in more detail. So this is just a straight walkthrough, just to give you a feel for the ship. And like I said, this is long enough. So that's the casino. So we come out of here, and now we are above what they call the music hall. This is the upper level. It goes down to deck 3, and in a second I'll pop down and show you that as well. But we'll do a quick pan down in a second. There's a little bar there. The band played down there, and they had various other activities as well. It's a nice little area. So that's that, and we'll pop out here. Not sure what you would sit there for. You can't see anything from those seats, but I guess there was an empty area, so they put something in it. Now the back there, they have the Royal Theatre, which is where they do all the big shows. Although, trust me, they got some specialized theaters on this ship that have some amazing shows, like the ice skating show and the aqua show. We'll show you those separately. But this is their main theater. So we'll come in here on 2 levels, deck 4 and deck 5. So there you go, nice large theater there. Not going to take you all the way down to the front. Just gives you an idea. Now we're going to pop down to deck 3 real quick and show you the bottom area of the music hall, and then we'll make our way up to deck 5, which is kind of what they call the Royal Promenade. This is our very first Royal Caribbean cruise, so I don't know how this compares to other ships, but hopefully we'll do a lot more in the future and I'll have a better feel for it. Probably got spoiled coming on here for the first time because it was a really amazing cruise. Apart from a couple of small things. So we're down in the music hall on deck 3 now, but nothing's perfect, is it? And this is the lower level. There you go. Obviously just up there was deck 4 where we came up. And I pan down to here, but just to give you a quick look and see what it looks like down below. So again, that's the music hall. And we pop down to deck 3. So now we're going to just go straight up the stairs, deck 4. And then, oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot the medical center. What am I talking about? Yes, there is a medical center also here. And it is right there. I tell you what, you could go on this ship for 3 weeks and still miss things. So that's the medical center. Now we're going to come up these stairs and we're going to head up to deck 5 and show you that. I wonder what else I'll forget while I do this talk over. All right, straight up to deck 5 where we have these. Now forget that it says aft there. I took all these at one end, so ignore where it says you are here. We are actually at the forward end. Fitness center, Royal Theatre and jogging track. So that's what we're going to show you first. And there's that map, which is more visual than words. So let's take a look at deck 5, shall we? So here we are coming out on deck 5. Also known, like I said, as the Royal Promenade. There's the top level of the theatre. We'll pop in there real quick and show you. These doors were automatic. You just hit open and they opened like sesame. Carnival, you have to really pull on them when I do these tours, so they're a bit shakier. So yes, +1 to Royal on this one. Ease of making a video. Doors easier to open. So this is just the upper level. We're just going to pop in here and show you. Much smaller than the lower level, obviously. But still a decent number of seats up here. Some handicap sections there, accessible sections right there. And that's the upper level looking down on the lower level. And as you see there's some stairs leading up from below if you wanted to come up. All right, so that's the theater. Now we're going to take you into the fitness center, which is down here. I had every intention of going, I promise. No, I didn't. So we're going to walk you around the track and show you the track a little bit. I like the way they had the layout on the track here. There was a lane for blue was for if you're just casually walking around, and then there was a fast lane and a slower lane. On those two lanes there were signs everywhere, and it was very clear which way you were supposed to go. If you were going the wrong way, it would tell you you are going the wrong way. There'd be signs up. So we're just going to walk down here, show you the fitness center, walk around the other side, and then we'll continue with a walk down the Royal Promenade. All the lifeboats, as you can see, are on the right hand side. Now this gym was the one place we saw on the whole tour where there were quite a lot of people. This was very busy all week. So I just popped in and popped out again because I feel a bit awkward videoing people working out. So we'll show you a brief look inside the gym. Or as they call it, the fitness center. After I checked nothing was coming. I'm just going to pop in here. Oops. A bit confusing where the doors were. So just a quick pan in here, because as you can see, this was early and there was quite a few people. You should have seen this place like at 7, 8 in the morning. Let's just say there was a few people showing off their gym prowess. No, that is not a door, Mick. Go around the other side. So now you may have heard they have a ship's dog on board. Believe it's Golden Retriever. And I'm not sure if what you're about to see is just for that dog when they take it for a walk, or any other pets that they take on board. One of the little touches we noticed as you were walking around this ship, on the right hand side coming up, you're going to see like a dog relief area. And down there, there's a dog rest pee area. So I don't know. For dogs. I don't know. Oh, there's Julie. She'll hate me for being in the video. So yeah, so this is the opposite side of the track. We're just going to walk down here for a little bit. Oh, there's a runner. And then we're going to go in and show you all of deck 5, which is, like I said, called the Royal Promenade on this ship. On the right, again, you'll see more of the lifeboats. This running track is big. I think you only run around it like 4, maybe 5 times. I took a picture of it, and you've done a mile. It is a big one. And you'll notice also as you walk around this ship, it's very clean, as ships always are. It's new, so you got that new ship feel, I guess. But everything was immaculate all week. So we're back in on deck 5 where we started. And now we're going to walk down the Royal Promenade, which kind of really covers deck 5 and deck 6. But we're going to take you on deck 5 and then up to deck 6. So as we come in here, on the left, the karaoke venue. They did karaoke every night. And yes, you'll also notice as I show you here, a lot of little artwork around and about the ship. Little touches like that. But that is the karaoke room. They do other things in there as well, but primarily it's karaoke. And you'll see shops. This is Sorrento's. This is the pizza place. We did not eat there, but I did eat at the Italian restaurant. So as you'll notice, there's a number of different shops and stuff down here. ATM machine there. More shops here. On the left coming up is a Starbucks. And you can use your app to pay for drinks here. But no points, only money that you load up. Now down here on the side, you'll have a couple of desks. One is for the photos and one is for the excursions. I was surprised how small the excursions desk was. This is 2. This is half. This first bit here is pixels equivalent, the photo equivalent. And this one here is for shore excursions. That's it. I thought it would be bigger. I was quite surprised. And then straight across here is a bar called 1400. Down there is an escalator to the casino. This is more of a specialty drinks bar. They have beer as well, but more the specialty drinks than anything else. It's an outside lanai type area where you can sit, and that's also the jogging track. You can see people running around. So in the middle of the jogging track on either side, they have seats so you can watch people run and do exercise while you drink a beer. This next bar coming up on the left is called the Point and Feather, and this is where I spent most of my week. And you'll be surprised to know, if anybody that knows me knows I'm a Red Stripe fan, but they had Grolsch in here, and I pretty much drank Grolsch all week. I did have a few Red Stripes, but it was mostly Grolsch from this bar. It's the only bar that sold it. It had the cool bottles, and I like to make them pop. They did a lot of trivia in here, and at the back they actually have real dartboards, although you're about to see they do need to replace them because they are a little bit worn, to put it mildly. But that was a very popular venue, day and night. Interesting, we talked to the bartenders and they were saying that they rotate them every week, so they don't stay in the same bar usually more than a week. So they keep them fresh, as it were, I guess. Coming up on here on the left is the Future Cruise Desk. If you want to book your next cruise, you're going to get like a reduced deposit, a little bit of onboard credit, and 2 months to change your mind, but you're not really going to get a price reduction. There was the port merchants, the alcohol sales, there's guest services. So now we're going to pop up to deck 6. That pretty much covers deck 5. So on deck 6, you'll see here, and again, ignore the fact that you've got aft mid, and we're more mid than anything. It was just where I took the pictures from. But that shows you what is where on deck 6, and you can look at those by every elevator bank and see what you're looking for. You'll get used to it quicker than you think. And once again, there's that diagram with it all mapped out, as opposed to in writing. So now we're at the top of those stairs. We're just going to do a loop of here, and then we're going to come back around. So this was the Latin bar called Bolero's. Latin music. The music was quite loud, so they typically only had one bar playing music at any one time, but you could hear it all around. That's the Schooner Bar on the opposite side, just to give you a perspective. So you can walk all the way around this deck. It gives you some good views for looking down below. This is the internet desk right here. They call it Voom. At the back of Bolero's. And this is the Park Cafe. This was always very popular. So I got it fairly empty for this place, trust me. This is where you can get some kind of grab and go snacks and stuff and coffees and what have you. There was always somebody here. But just to give you a quick idea of what sort of things they have, we'll show you. Right there. Some sandwiches. There was some dessert type of things before. There's a smiling face. Some yogurts and parfaits. And then around the corner here, they have a coffee station and a juice stations. Right there. So that's the Park Cafe. Continuing on around here as we go. These seats on the side were good spots to get views of any shows they did. Like, they did a big balloon drop on the first night. If you can get to the end there where that kind of half 6 foot or 4 foot pole is, that's where I stood. You get some great video looking down. On the left, they had this is always my luck. I always come and do these tours when they have an art auction or something going on. But this is primarily the comedy club. And yeah. Trust me, it's a comedy club. It's full of art right now. But it is a comedy club. We went one time and they bashed Carnival or they threw it a set, so we didn't go again. Wasn't too impressed with the comedians, I will be honest. Now on the opposite side here, as you pass some more art there, we have the piano bar. They have a dueling pianos, which is very cool, and they were very good. It was nice, I saw them hanging out together on the ship, which you don't always see. But before we go there, I must be amiss. I forgot to take you to the front, where they have a couple of little spots. Here they have the Crown Lounge. And they have an escape room on the left, which was not open all week, which was very disappointing because I was hoping to do that. But no, that was closed. First cruise on Royal, I don't know what the Crown Lounge is. I'm assuming it's something to do with their loyalty program because it's Crown and Anchor. So you probably have to be a higher level to go in there, I would assume. If you know, please put it in the comments for other people. I'm just realizing I forgot to find that out. So back to the piano bar. Again, this is a dueling piano bar. They didn't work. I actually sat down and worked out the hours they were playing this week. And in total, the entire week, I think they only played 15 hours. 15 hours, it's not a lot, is it? And I could be wrong. I could have added it up wrong, but I only made it 15. They had 2 days off. So, and when they played, they rarely played more than like an hour and a half or so. This is where a band would play here at night, which was kind of weird because you can't see them. You would just be sitting there, and that's a really cool photo opportunity, by the way, there on the right. But you would hear the band play, but you couldn't see them. So I don't know how you would get much energy out of it. This is the Italian restaurant, Giovanni's. We had lunch in here and we had dinner in here, and they both were excellent. The pizzas I thought were great. There's some really good menus. There's that photo opportunity you can get. It leads up to the park restaurant we showed you earlier, the snack area, as it were. Back to Giovanni's. Yeah, the pizzas were really good, thin crust and everything. Great. And we'll come back down here into that Schooner Bar again. This was another bar. I actually did not drink in this bar. For those, again, that know me know I always try and do a bar crawl. There were 19 bars on this ship and 40 places you could get a drink. So I did not do a crawl on this one. I literally would have been crawling by the end of it. So that's the main kind of Royal Promenade part of Deck 6. Some more shops at the back here. But there's a few more things to show you before we head to the next area. Another bank of elevators there. We're going to come down now. If you went through this door here, and remember this door that says Surfside, because we'll be going up to Deck 7 through there momentarily. But we're going to finish here on Deck 6. There's a little shop here, like a royal shop, if you like, with a lot of logo gear and everything. And this is a bar called Playmakers, which is their sports bar. We just spent some time in here, some great bartenders in there. Those machines are not free. You do have to pay, I think it was $2.50 a game or something like that. But a lot of the stuff in here obviously is free. One thing to note, and I'll show you a close-up in a second, I believe, is that they have USB ports on most bars, if not all bars. So that's very useful if you're planning on staying there for a while. So you can see all the different games I have here. This on the left is what they call the owner's box. So you can rent that. I think it was $300 for 3 hours. And you can 8 to 10 people in there. And you got like a couple of pitchers of beer, some wings and stuff to go with that. So not a bad idea if your team is playing a game and you want some privacy. And then this is Absolute Zero. This is where they did the ice skating show. And you could actually go ice skating at times as well. But if you do go, make sure you bring long pants, because Julie went to go and she didn't have long pants and they would not let her skate. Who brings long pants to the Caribbean? I don't know. We didn't. So, yeah. But I strongly recommend the shows. I never do shows on Carnival, for example, but the shows on this ship were amazing. Specifically this one and the Aqua show were great. So that's the ice rink there. And when I say great, I mean really great. Julie went to see the Wizard of Oz musical. It was an hour and 50 minutes. And no, I went and drank Grolsch and watched my football team Ipswich play in the bar, because they had a game on when she went. But she said it was a great show. We went to see a juggler who was okay. I wouldn't say it was great, but was okay. Now, we're coming back out. That was an elevator coming up from the floor down below. Now, over here on the right-hand side is the kids club from 13 to 17. Let's call it Social 20. And in a moment, I'm going to show you the other kids clubs before we head up to Deck 7. So again, we're still on Deck 6. We're going to come back through. Now, all the bars were well spaced, but this one was the only one that was a bit of a bottleneck when the show cleared out, that I saw at least. I think if you watch this as you go around, you see most of the bars are off the main path a little bit, so they never felt too crowded. But this one was an exception to that rule. So that's one last look at the sports bar, screens everywhere, and there are an example of some of your USB ports everywhere. And they're actually under the main bar area as well, where you could sit. As I'm going to show you around the other backside here, but there you go. There's USB ports under the bar as well. And they do food in here, burgers and wings and stuff like that, like bar food. You have to pay for it unless you're on the dining package, which case you get up to $40. I thought the dining package was a really good deal. We had it for the week and it worked out at about $27 a meal, including gratuities. So for us, that was a good deal. Now we're going to head back out. This is the kids area. Remember, we just went past the entry to the deck 7 because once I go down the end here, I'm not going to walk all the way out again. So I'm going to cut the video and restart it there. This is called Adventure Ocean. As you saw, the 13 to 17-year-olds was over by the ice rink. This is for the kids less of age than that. So you'll come down here. There's the babies one, 6 to 36 months. There's the juniors. I think that was 3 to 5. There's a main theater. I assume they do a lot of stuff in there. And then there's the hangout for the 6 to 12-year-olds. So that covers all the age groups. That's where all the kids clubs are. All right, so as I said, I wasn't going to make you walk all the way out there. So we'll take you up to deck 7 aft, where all the kids play area pretty much is, and a few restaurants. There's the 2 diagrams I've been showing you. So we're going to head up here, Surfside. It was right between the Playmakers and the kids area, so you can't miss it. I'm going to go up these stairs. On the left there, you see a pretty cool photo shot for a flamingo. You'll also notice on the left and right, and you'll see more of this as we go through this tour, there are cabins on the inside with balconies looking down. So this would be your balcony view. There's one over the restaurants as well. This one's definitely louder than the restaurant one. They have DJs and stuff playing in here, so just be warned of that. Also up on the upper decks as well, they're going to be louder. So the quieter ones will be the ones in Central Park, I can promise you that. This is the arcade. Also at the back of this ship and this level, if you looked up, you'd see all the suites. See straight ahead there, all cabins. And they are not that private, so you can see into them at times. So if you are inside, I would keep the curtains closed. Balcony, you got no chance. There's a carousel on the left there. Yes, Julie did go on the flamingo. So this was busy. I wouldn't say it was crowded every day. There was plenty of spaces for the kids to play. So yeah, good time for everybody down here. Some more play areas like that. And like I said, there's a couple of restaurants we'll touch on. There's one there, Surfside Bites. You can just get little snacks like hot dogs, stuff like that. Some more seats. And then here's a restaurant called Pier 7. This is a pay restaurant. We did eat in here for brunch. We were supposed to do dinner in here, but then we wanted to try Playmakers later in the week, so we switched. So I'd say of everybody's different. I wouldn't say anything is good or bad, but it was the least exciting menu for us of all the ones on board on the specialty restaurants. But I'm not going to tell you which was better or worse because that's just my opinion. Here's the pool area for the kids at the back. Yeah, leading into this, we watched so many videos on the Icon and everybody was like, this is better than this. This is what you want to do. This is our top 5. I don't play that game. Everybody's different. I just give you facts. There's the suites. And they're on both sides. Now we're going to walk you back down the other side. First one we're going to see here is the lemon bar on the opposite side. Shockingly, a lot of fruity drinks there. But we're just panning around at the cabins for you first. You'll see up there your first shot of the water slides we're going to get to soon. Lemon Port Bar. Or was it Lemon Post Bar? I forget. That's right there. Now this Coke machine here, they have Coke, not Pepsi. They have about 9 of those machines. You need a special cup that you get when you get the drink package, or you get it from the bar, and you can select one of so many different types of drinks when you go into that. Walking back down the other side. There's a towel pickup area there. Now on the left, I forgot to mention this, there's a sugar snacks place, kind of like you can buy candy and stuff like that in there. And then this was another little buffet area. We were here before breakfast started. Again, I'm doing a full breakfast restaurant and bar video as well. So I was able to go into a lot of these on that and show you more detail, but that's just a brief view of it there. We're just going to pop in at the other end and show you what the restaurant looked like, but it wasn't quite ready because obviously we were early, so they hadn't quite opened it just yet. There's that flamingo again. So this is the opposite end. Show you that there, right there. So it's a nice big kind of buffet style restaurant area. All right, there's that flamingo. So that's the Surfside area. Now we're going to pop up to the area called Central Park, which is where they have a lot of the nice restaurants, specialty restaurants up there. We'll show you. So what's up there? Let's have a look, shall we? So shops, and then in the middle you have those restaurants you can see, and at the front we have the Empire Supper Club, and there's that usual little diagram option I show you. Again, just go look on any of the elevator banks and you'll see it. So we're now on deck 8 up from deck 7. There's another little shop there. Now we're going to head into Central Park. Coming out of Surfside, just straight across. Now there's cabins again either side of this, and I promise you these will be a lot quieter. I mean, nothing's ever quiet, but a lot quieter than the other areas. If you're looking for an inside cabin with the balconies and all that good stuff. All these plants are real, and they pipe in bird sounds. Believe it or not, there are not birds there. Don't keep looking for them. There are none. There's some higher end type shops on the right hand side there. See, we're in Central Park. Again, all these plants are real. Over here we have Lou's Jazz Bar, Jazz and Blues. I did not go in here, so I don't know how it was attended. Jazz is not my thing, but if it is yours, I'm sure it's a wonderful bar. I would be the one in the corner asleep. I need more oomph, but each to their own. Again, you can see the cabins on either side up above. On the right there in the green, that is what they call Bubbles Bar, where they do the champagne. It was closed right now, but again, if you watch my restaurant and bars video, I've got some video when it was open. And over here is another eatery for breakfast called the Park Cafe again. And we'll just pop in here and have a quick look. So you see they got like just basic snacks, sandwiches. They have some bagels in here, a bagel bar there, and that's the area people can sit, and a coffee station and a fruit station right there. This is usually fairly busy. We called it a lucky moment when there was hardly anybody there, and they have an outside seating section as well. Be very careful you walk around here in the mornings, because for whatever reason it's usually very wet. And it can be a bit slippery, so just be aware of that. This door, if you went through here, it would lead you down to the Royal Promenade area, like on deck 5 and 6. On the right there is what they call a Trellis bar. It's a nice place to grab a drink before dinner if you go into either the steakhouse or the Hibachi or the Sushi, which is coming up straight ahead. Never got too busy. So on the right hand side here is what they call Chops Grille, which is their steakhouse. We had the brunch in here and we had the dinner. Both were excellent. They do some upcharges on Wagyu and tomahawks and stuff like that. Be aware of that, as well as the main menu. So not the largest of restaurants, but it was always busy. They do like fillets on this ship. I think there was about 80% of the restaurants had some sort of filet mignon on the menu. And we are looking up at those cabins. Again, you can see into them, so keep the curtains closed if you want privacy. And I'm sure you're getting the enormity of this ship. It is huge. But also, look how far everything is off the main path. Nothing's on top of each other as you're sitting at a bar or eating in a restaurant. There's not people just two inches from you. They're a good distance. It's a very well designed ship, apart from a couple of things, in my opinion, I'll show you on the upper decks. So this is the hibachi and the sushi. That's the sushi there on the left. And then they have 5 hibachi grills here. Now, I missed it on this video, but just to the left of this is the, you can pick up sushi. There's a pick up sushi window. So they have 3 basically different sushi slash hibachi parts to this restaurant, which is called Izumi. So we have Izumi sushi, Izumi hibachi, and then the Izumi you can just pick up as you go. And I forget what it was called, but you can't miss it. It's right there. So that pretty much ends that area of Central Park, and we're just going to walk down and show you one more thing. Now, this is their biggest upgraded meal of the week. It's called the Empire Supper Club. It costs $200 a person. If you have the Ultimate Dining Package, it is $130 surcharge, which we did. We tried it, and I'm not going to lie, it was my least enjoyable moment of the entire week. But again, everybody is different. So I'm just going to tell you, I didn't think it was worth the money, but everybody else seemed to think it was great. Well, everybody at our table didn't really enjoy it. But they had live music. Service was excellent. The music was excellent. The vibe was excellent. You have to wear a jacket in here. We were just very disappointed with the food, but that's just us. I'm sure most people would enjoy it more than we did. But I've done a lot of chef's tables, and just in my opinion, that was better food and half the price. Buyer beware. But go in with an open mind. Don't take my word to not go. So that would be deck 3 through 8. We're kind of halfway point, believe it or not. There's a long way to go. All right, now we're going to head up to deck 14 and show you the spa and the juice bar, the vitality bar there, and then we'll head up to 15. You'll see Windjammer is at the back, and all the good stuff is more towards the middle and front. Vitality at sea right here. This is deck 14. This is the Vitality Cafe. It's primarily a juice bar and healthy snacks. And this is the main entrance into the spa. All sorts of different areas, like there's a barber on the left there. So that's where you would come for your spa needs. To dry for, I'm assuming that's the hairdressers. I don't know. So that's pretty much all there is to show you on deck 14. So I'm going to actually show you how to walk up the stairs. As we do that, I'll explain one thing real quick. So you saw that the Windjammer buffet was at the back of deck 15. The way I did this walk, the flow was really good, except going there. It kind of took you out of the way. So I'm going to show you that as a bonus video at the end, including a little clip of Mr. Washi. If you have heard of the famous Mr. Washi, if you're lucky enough to see him on a ship, you will get a little clip coming up. So we're going to head up to deck 15 and show you all that, minus the Windjammer buffet, which again, I'll show you at the end. And by the way, go there on day 1. It's amazing. Crab claws, all sorts. So here we are up on deck 15 now. This is an area called the Aquadome. So we're going to head in here and show you what's here. And then we'll go out onto the open deck area. This is a very cool little spot. We're going to come in here. This is where they do the water show, the aqua show, which is unbelievable. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. Just if you're on this ship and you don't go, you're making a mistake. And I'm not a show person. It was amazing. This is the bling store. And when I tell you bling, think bling, because things in there are unbelievably expensive. Go and find out for yourself. Get a seat in that chair like most people did. So you can just about see the roof up above. People actually dive from up there into that pool for the show. That's all I'll say. Definitely go. It's really, really good. And again, I am not a show person on ships, but the shows on this ship, especially the ice and this one, were amazing. This is Hooked Seafood Restaurant. And again, we had lunch and dinner in here as part of our ultimate dining package, which I can't recommend enough. If you like specialty dining, it's the way to go. So nice views from here. And then at the back beyond here is what they call Celebration Table, which is their equivalent of the Chef's Table, which I really wish we had done instead of the Empire Supper Club. But again, I'm going to stress this every time. I don't do lists of what's better than the others. That would have been better for me, I am sure. Doesn't mean it has to be you. There's a little bar in Hooked. And then we're going to walk you around the back area here, which is really, really cool, with some great spots to sit. This area was called the Overlook. There's a look down at the aqua pool area. Now we had the key as well, which I thought was really good on this ship. A lot of good things, and I'll do a whole video on the key too. But I think it was really worth having. I know it differs from ship to ship, but this one, I thought it was great. So here we are at the Overlook, and all these little areas you can see raised up, they're actually seating areas. Some very cool seating areas on these ships. This was very popular, so if you wanted one of these, especially one like this one I'm about to show you, you would have to get there somewhat early, because they do go. And you'll see all the little areas down below as well. Yeah, imagine just getting that little private area for the day, just hanging out. It's nice and quiet, peaceful if that's what you're looking for with that view. Yeah, and they were first come, first served. All of these little areas here. And there's the bar. Drank here a couple of times, but didn't spend too much time up here. Normally once I find my favorite bar, I'm there a lot. And for me, that was Point and Feather this week. But it's just me again. I'll keep saying it. Doesn't mean it was better than the others. Just better for me. So yeah, some very cool seats here. Just very relaxing. So this is at the back of deck 15. Beautiful. Amazing area. And again, as always, you'll see everything is off the main path, so nobody's on top of you as they walk through. One of the best things I'll say about this ship was how they designed it, and then the whole. Only that one in the sports bar, the Playmakers, as you came out of the ice skating show. Let's have a look at the dome. That was the only time I ever saw it really crowded as people were walking out of an area. All right, as we head up here, we're going to make our way back around. On the left up here is the coffee station, or the coffee shop, as it were. The Ryan Bean. Right there. And now we're coming back out onto the opposite side of the water area. And we're going to take you into the Aquadome Market, which was very cool. Got some very cool little snack areas here, as you can see. There was a creme de la creme, give out crepes. There's a little Asian one, a mac and cheese, a Greek one, and like a sandwich one. Little kind of like, how do I put it? Well, you'll see. Little diner, if you like, inside here. And we did eat in here a couple of times. It was very, very good. With the dining package, you don't get, especially the restaurants are not open on port days. So we would come up to these type of places on a port day for lunch. There's the Toast and Garden. So you can see just little like kind of snack areas. But food was excellent. And never too crowded up here. It's one of those areas that a lot of people maybe didn't even see all week. They don't make announcements on this ship. They made announcements on the first day. Then they made an announcement that there wouldn't be any more announcements. And there really wasn't. Apart from a couple emergency announcements, there was nothing. So yeah, so this is the Aquadome Market area. Another look at the menus, which I'm sure change. Another Coke machine right there. You can see all those little discs up above. That represented the different soda types. So you could just hit a button, and within that soda, there'd be 5 different types to pick from. All right, now we're heading out onto the open deck area. And immediately ahead, you'll see the first of the lime and coconut bars. There's 3 of them, one on deck 15, one on deck 16, one on deck 17. It's coming up on the right-hand side. You'll see all the seats and everything here. A lot of green and yellow, which is not good for me, being they are the biggest rivals of my football team, and I don't like green and yellow, so I did not drink here. That's just me. I'll say it 55 times in this video. I know it's stupid. I'm 58 years old, but it's the thing. So there's one of the bars. And the lime and coconuts, they have different themes at each bar. One is like more of the mixed blended drinks and stuff. You'll see as we go around. And this is kind of like the main pool. There's several pools dotted around the ship, but this is the main one. Just going to pop up here real quick and show you the pool from up on this level. I'm going to keep walking down here. So if you came down here early, as you can see, there's already towels put out for people, which I wish they wouldn't do. But it was a late rising ship, surprisingly. You would think by now there'd be a lot more people at the pool. You see the sun is completely up, but you'll also see how empty it is down there. But lots of places to sit. We never had a problem if we didn't actually sit in one of these seats, but every time we walked by, there were always open seats. So this is just walking around that main pool area. And we're going to come back in a second and go up there to deck 16 where the Thrill Island area is. But for now, we're just going to keep walking around here. Looking back at the pool again. A couple of hot tubs there as well. Kind of a bit like ziggy-zaggy up here to show you everything. Now looking down there again, that's looking down at Central Park, and there's all of the cabins that you can see. Right down there. Yep, all of those shutters represent a cabin. This is the Mexican restaurant, but we'll come back to that in a second. Some more little play areas for whatever you want to word it here. Not really kids, adult play area, I guess. Some cool little places to sit, but bear in mind they are not in the shade. These areas typically are in the shade, so there are shaded areas as well as non-shaded areas. Some cool little places to sit. So make our way to the back here. I mean, you can tell just by the feel of it how many places there are to be. Another little lime and coconut bar area there. So basically the bar on these decks is called lime and coconut. It just covers all the decks. But there's a couple of other ones as well. There's a swim up bar I'll show you in a second. This is a kids play area. There was 3, I believe, ping pong tables, maybe 4, which always got busy with kids during the day. It was the one area I saw a lot of kids was this particular area here. So yeah, if you don't want to be around kids, keep out of this area. And one thing I forgot to show you down on deck 7, we'll show you again in a second, was the Sprinkles ice cream area, because it's not self-serve. There's always a crew member there serving you. This is to stop the kids destroying the machines. And again, watch my other video on the bars and restaurants. You'll see how that works. But on the right-hand side coming up here is the one on this level. It'll be closed right now. Right there with a shutter down. They call it Sprinkles. There's a couple of those on the ship. That's where you would get your ice creams. But again, you tell them what you want, and they make it for you and hand it to you. Little slides everywhere. Not sure if that's an actual slide or just for looks, because that would be a bit rough falling out of that. So I'm pretty sure that's just for looks. But wait till you see the main slides in a moment. They are very much impressive. So we're heading back down. I'm going to show you the Mexican restaurant, and then we're going to head up to deck 16. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. And we had lunch here one day. It was actually surprisingly good. Burritos, tacos and stuff. And I'd read some bad reviews online. It just goes to show you that you should never listen to other people telling you a place is bad. Judge it for yourself. Because they had pulled pork on this one. And I just got a plate of pulled pork with some guacamole and some good stuff. And I thought it was really good. So this is where you would come for your Mexican lunch. That's free. Some good seating areas there. And there's also a bar next to it. This is not a lime and coconuts. This is... can't remember the name of it, but it's on my bar and restaurant one. Francina, I can't remember. Too much to remember. But that's a bar. Francina Fresco or something. It's going to bother me, I don't know. Now, this area here, we're walking back up to deck 16. This was a bit of a wind tunnel. Every time I walked through here, it was very windy. I did notice that. So that's pretty much covering deck 15. We're going to head up to deck 16, where we're going to go to Thrill Island. So that was Chill Island. Now we're going up to Thrill Island, and you're going to see up here the sweet neighborhood of Coastal Kitchen. That's for sweets only. But we're going to show you everything else mid and aft that's showing up there, including the Hideaway, which is the adult area. And as always, there's the optional look. You can see these on all of the elevator banks. So here we are heading into Thrill Island. One thing I noticed about Royal, and this happened on Coco K as well, if you don't have a pass or you're not supposed to be there, they will not let you in, which is good. Like imagine the Havana on Carnival where they let anybody just walk in. That won't happen on Royal. Not on this ship anyway. So we're heading into the main Thrill Park area, which is all the activities. You can see all the pipes, water pipes and everything. Always long lines here during the day. And one in particular, I'll show you in a second, you couldn't pay me to go. Well, you wouldn't pay me to go in any of these, but definitely not on the one I'm going to show you. We're going to show you a Flowrider as well in a second. All sorts of things to show you. It's like a maze of water pipes. On the right-hand side, you can just see in view is the basketball courts. That's you go up some stairs to like deck 17. So we're going to come down here, walk around this corner area. Looking back on those. And then up here is the Flowrider. I believe you have to pay for this. The reason I say I'm not sure is because, again, I ain't doing it. They did some nights where you could do it standing, but most of the time it was like just laying on it. And there was a gallery at the back where people would just sit and watch all day. It's quite impressive. Yeah, it was roped off for cleaning, so I'm just going to go back down here rather than walk across. Look at that lovely professional shadow of me with my GoPro. Follow me, everybody. Straight ahead there, you'll see it is the sports court on the right-hand side, because on this video, I didn't walk up there this particular time, but it's big. They did a full basketball court up there, not like a half one like on most ships. It's a full one. So now we're going to look down. This is the first part of what they call the Hideaway, which is the adult area, which is one of the comments I had. I felt this area was not large enough. You'll see in a second. That's not all of it, but that's part of it. Those day beds in the middle you do pay for, but again, be aware you are in complete sun. There is no shade whatsoever. Now, this is the pipe I was telling you about. See that gap there where there's like clear glass? Imagine coming down that. No. No. There's the sports court in the background there in the middle right now. So we're going to walk down to here. Again, this is called the Hideaway area. This is the adult only area. They have one on Coco K as well. I tried to get in there to do some video, but I had to pass somewhere else and they would not let me in. Under no circumstances. No ticket, no entry. So this is the Hideaway. It's for 18 and up only. See the sign there? So again, I felt like this area was not quite big enough for the demand. A couple of hot tubs there. And then there's just 2 areas. This is the first one coming up here. The other one I showed you, but we'll go back to it in a second. Already people reserving chairs with towels, as you can see. But that's the first area. You really did have to come up here early to get a seat. And the pool I'll show you in a second on the other side, it was like chock-a-block of people. You couldn't move. It was like you're in a night in a festival or something, but it was in the water. Because this pool is just not big enough. There's like an infinity pool, but it's tiny for the number of people that want to go in it. Yeah, this pool right here. And if you pay for those day beds, you are going to get no privacy whatsoever. You are going to be surrounded by tons of adults. We're going to walk around here to the Hideaway Bar. I mean, don't get me wrong, the view is spectacular, but it's just not big enough for the numbers of people, in my opinion. And this is where you would check in for your day beds right here if you had one. There's a decent sized bar. Nice little view if you were sitting there watching the day go by. All right, so that is the Hideaway area, the adult only, like the equivalent of Carnival Serenity. I mean, I'm not saying, if you go on the XL class ships on Carnival, the pool area is way smaller than that. But just the demand to be in that pool because of where it is and the look and everything. I should have taken a picture of it like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon where it was literally, you couldn't turn around without being in someone's face. So we're going to head out of here and continue our walk. We are almost done. It is almost time for my question to see if anybody is still watching. In fact, I'll do it for you now. So I mentioned earlier, and I've done this before in previous video, but what colors do I hate from my football team? That'll show if you're not just flicking to the end, but I gave the answer earlier. The 2 colors that I detest. This is the golf, and there's my lovely shadow again. Up there on the left again is the sports courts. You got those stairs to get to it. Full-size basketball court up there. They did pickleball and stuff a lot. Another bar right there. Looking over at the courts right there. Now this area is called the Basecamp. Now, but if we continue down here just a little bit, you're going to see the Milkshake Bar. Now these milkshakes are not free. They are $14 and one is $18 if you want the burrito. No, was it the burrito one? It had a piñata in it. And they are not part of the drink package or the ultimate dining package. And you can add a shot of liquor for an extra $5. So maybe it's a once a week treat. But they were big. Julie got one. They were big. Some cornhole there. My favorite game in the world. If you know, you know. We're going to come back around to that Basecamp place. Again, this is just a snack area with pretzels and what have you. I did not eat here. Some of our friends did. They said it was okay. I wouldn't say it was spectacular for them, but they, it was for what it was. It was good. Another Coke machine. And looking back into there. It's kind of cool. It is a football. You call it soccer. I call it football. You can actually sit there and play a game. Try and score against the other person. It's kind of fun. Now we're coming down here. This is the rock climbing area. They did a lot of competitions and speed climbs and stuff like that on there. Pretty well attended every time I went by there to see it. called Adventure, or Adrenaline Peak, they called it. And then this is the Crown's Edge coming up on the left. This is where you would go out over the water. But never fear, you are safe, you are hooked up. Still, I have vertigo like you wouldn't believe. You couldn't pay me again to go up here. So the Crown's Edge, you would go up there and you would actually go out, walk around this thing and be out over the water. I'd be dangling at some point and freaking out, I know it. All right, so we're almost at the end. We're just going to come down here. And I'm going to show you the Casitas. Now, these kind of little cabana areas you can rent. They are way cheaper on a port day than on a sea day. I'll give you you could buy these in advance. I definitely recommend it. Don't buy them on the ship. I got one in advance for $240 on a port day because we decided to explore the ship rather than go ashore a couple of days. I know on one of the sea days, they were $900. That's not cheap. That area there is where the band would play up top. Mostly like reggae or steel drum and stuff like that most of the time. I believe they had 6 of the Casitas, if I correctly remember. You got some waters and you got some fruit skewers in the afternoon, but that was all you got, and towels and everything. And we really enjoyed it. But $240, it was great value. But $900, have at it. And if you book one, it's first come, first served. So you have to come up like at 8:30 in the morning, I believe it was. I went up about 8, and you would come around to this end of this bar. This is the lime and coconut on deck 16. And that is where you would check in for your casita. Now, if you have it on multiple days, the first day you book it, you can book the other days as well. Otherwise, it's first come, first served. So I wanted to make sure we got a certain one, which we did. And I was there at 8 o'clock. So we're just going to come back around here and we're going to almost be done. Just a few more things to show you. If you're still in there, we're approaching, well, we're over the hour mark now. Good grief, this is a long video. The things I do. Hot tub down below. That yellow casita is what we wanted because it was close to this swim up bar that I'm going to show you in a second. This is another one of my, what's the word I'm looking for? I wish it was bigger questions, you know, because that was very, very popular too, a swim-up bar, and it was nowhere near big enough for the demand. This is the casita we actually had. So you have all this area. Part of it shaded, part of it not, but you could move those chairs into the shaded area if you wanted. We really enjoyed it for the day. And like I said, at $240, it was good value when you split it between those 4 of us shared it. This is the swim-up bar. As you can see, it's really not very big. I wish that was a bit larger. All right, we're coming up to the end of this. I'll just give you one more pan down looking at the cabins down below and over the deck. We're going to show you a little bit on deck 17 in a moment, but it's not very big. And then I'm going to show you that bonus video of the Windjammer. From here, if you just popped inside, we're going to show you in a second, there's one of the suites only areas, but they wouldn't let me in as always. It's you can't even open the door and sneak in like you could in a few places. It's key only. So we come across here. Again, there you are. We're on deck 16. It's called the Coastal Kitchen. It's the suites food area only. One last look at how that map area works out. Really easy to follow, and I think in just a few days you'll have picked it up pretty well. Not so bad. Now 17 and 18 there, I didn't really get too much video of this. I'll show you some pictures in a second because there really wasn't too much up there to show you. There was a lime and coconuts on deck 17, which is this. I took this from my video I made for the restaurant and bars. Directly behind us is the actual pool, which I did not get a video of, but I'll show you it in a few moments on a diagram. There was also a hot tub just behind it as well. And there's some of the options of the drinks you can get there. And I tried to sneak around the corner and show other stuff, but there really wasn't much of a view. Yeah, that's the swim-up bar on the opposite side. So this is the view of deck 17. You'll see the blue at the bottom, middle is where the pool is, and the the coconut and lime dead opposite it. And then deck 18 is mainly for suites only. The Grove Suites Sun Deck, it's a private deck for those, and the same on 19. So 18 and 19 is pretty much all for suite people. And then just look at the deck 20 up there. Now, as I said before, I'm going to show you a quick video of the Windjammer, well, a tour of one side of the Windjammer. It's on deck 15 aft. But before I go into the tour, let me introduce to you Mr. Washi. Yes, greeting you with a smile. Now, this is the breakfast buffet. They have it on two sides. The other side was open, and it's very smart. What they do is when it gets to a certain time, they'll close the other side and put people in this side so they can kind of stagger it. So I was able to get up here and get this video just before they opened. I was very lucky, and they let me in to do this video. So it's not identical on both sides. So if you're looking for one thing and it's not there, it's probably on the other. Like I think there was only an omelet station on one of the two sides, for example. But they do have a gluten-free area at the back. So, you know, you can just get an idea of some of the foods that they have just in this little walk around. Like I said, they were just getting ready to open. I think maybe 5 minutes after I finished filming, they opened this side. So I just wanted to give you an idea. And definitely, I think I mentioned this earlier, day one, come up here. It's amazing. The food they have on day one is incredible. So as soon as you get on the ship, do your muster drill and then come up here would be my recommendation. They had crab claws, they had all sorts. It was amazing. So yeah, this is just walking you around the Windjammer to give you an idea of what is there. Like I said, they have a gluten-free area at the back. And it's the same layout on both sides. So imagine this doubled. And it does get busy because it's a really good buffet. We found the same on Celebrity earlier this year. I'll do a video as well coming up on my opinion on the differences between Carnival and Royal. And there'll just be differences. There won't be one is better than the other. I might say which I preferred, but you know, I've stressed it and I stress it over and over again. I hate videos where people say this is my top 5. Number 1 is this. Everybody's different. I'll give you my opinion, but everybody's entitled to one. Or as I like to say, it's a matter of opinion. It's not your fault. Yours is the wrong one. But that wouldn't be true. Another soda machine right there. And there's a bar. You can get Bloody Marys up here and stuff like that. Or would it? And this is the gluten-free area at the back. And this is, like I said, on both sides. So they do take care of you. I didn't see anything like a menu mate like they have on Carnival, but I'm sure they have something there where you could go if you have dietary needs on the ship, just go see the maitre d'. But if you look across at any point on this side, you'll see the other side is there. And there was a lot of people on the other side, so I was very grateful to be able to video this. You see the opposite side there, another half. You can see people walking around. So there you go. A tour of Icon of the Seas. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.